Good evening, guys. Back again with Chapter 2, all set to go. Given how long the first chapter wound up being, I'd say this one will be about the same, so I'm just going to get started. Let's do this. Chapter 2. Hell hath no fury like a dragon scorned. When Spike woke, he found himself lying on a bed with purple sheets. He was in a large room with purple wall hangings and a balcony off to one side. Behind the bed was a small bookcase overflowing with books and scrolls. At the foot of the bed was a trunk, and beyond that, against the wall, was a wardrobe and large dressing mirror.
"Welcome back, Spike. You had me scared for a while there,"
Princess Luna said.
"What happened? Where am I?" he asked. "You are in my personal chambers. You fainted, for lack of a better term. The transformation took a lot of energy. Your subsequent flee from Ponyville and your emotional state didn't help matters either," she informed him, sitting down next to the bed. "Spike, what happened?"
Spike was blushing at the knowledge that he was in Luna's bed.
"No pony knows what happened to me. It's all very confusing." "Tell me what happened, Spike."
Luna's tone was soft and gentle. Spike told the princess everything. He told her about Twilight's sickness, the bite, and the reactions he received from Applejack, Pinky, and Fluttershy when they found out that the pony they saw before them was actually Spike. Luna couldn't help but chuckle slightly.
"It's not funny, Princess. It was really embarrassing." "I'm sorry. But tell me, Spike, that's not really what's bothering you, is it?" Luna asked him. "That's not what took you to the edge of the Overlook." "No, I guess not," Spike confessed. "It was Rarity. I love her, but I guess I didn't really know how she felt about me," he said, choking back fresh tears. "She hates me," he bawled. "She said I was just an annoying little reptile. She said my only use was lift and tote work. After all I've done for her, everything I've done to make her happy, all I am to her is free labor."
Luna's heart went out to him. She climbed into the bed and lay next to him, wrapping a wing around the injured soul.
"Why does it hurt so much?"
Spike begged, tears streaming out of his emerald eyes.
"Shh, it's okay. A broken heart hurts more than some ponies know. I'm sure Rarity didn't really mean the things she said. You'll see," Luna said, trying to console him.
Spike buried his face in Luna's shoulder, crying his eyes out.
"It'll be okay, I promise," she said, gently rocking back and forth and stroking his mane.
A single tear rolled down her cheek. It wasn't long before Spike had cried himself to sleep. There was a quiet knock at the door. Luna used her magic to very carefully open the chamber entrance. Celestia walked in and shut the door behind her. She was very much like her younger sister, except that she was much taller and white in color. Her mane and tail flowed on invisible currents like Luna's, but instead of blue, Celestia's mane and tail was a pastel spectrum of pink, blue, green, and purple.
"Sister, some of the guards told me you brought a young stallion here to your room. I hope I'm not interrupting anything, but they told me he was unconscious." "He's right here, Tia, and he's sleeping. Please try to keep your voice down."
Celestia approached the bed and saw the stallion's face snuggled into Luna's chest. Luna carefully extracted herself from around the sleeping stallion and carefully tucked her blanket in around him.
"Luna, you didn't—" "No, I didn't sleep with him. Don't you think an 18-year-old is a little young for me?" she asked.
Princess Celestia smiled.
"What about little Pip Fetlocksky? The poor dear is going to be heartbroken." "Tia," Luna hissed quietly, "if I ever get my hooves on the pony who wrote that book, I don't know what I'd do, but it won't be pleasant."
Her sister chuckled lightly.
"Oh, Luna, it was just some mare looking for a quick couple of bits. You shouldn't take it so personally." "No, I recall actually seeing the book in a store once, right next to a copy of The Adventures of Princess Molestia."
Luna smiled evilly.
"Tell me, sister, how long has it been since you went out to fulfill your own personal sexual desires on the population of Ponyville? Your own student, even. Truly shocking." "I will not justify that slanderous publication with a response," Celestia said in a huff. What's important at the moment is why this unconscious young stallion is in your bed."
Luna gazed down at the sleeping pony with a look of utter despair stamped on her face.
"He ran all the way from Ponyville at a full gallop. I found him at the edge of the overlook, and had I not been there, I'm certain he would have walked off. He collapsed from the effort of his departure. I decided to bring him here and watch over him." "You've become such a gentle soul since your return, little sister,"
Celestia said, smiling at her. Princess Luna stroked his emerald green mane.
"Doesn't he look familiar to you?"
Celestia studied him for a moment.
"Should I recognize him? It's Spike. Twilight's Spike." "It can't be," she said,
as she and her sister walked out in the hall so as not to disturb him.
"How can that young stallion be Spike? It doesn't make any sense."
Celestia was in shock. She had been very close to the purple dragon since he was freshly hatched. When Twilight had come to live in the palace during her tutelage, she had raised the small dragon until he insisted on helping Twilight with her studies.
"You don't think Twilight was experimenting on him?" she asked. "Unfortunately, no. If that were the case, you or I could fix this easily."
Luna noticed one of the court scribes passing by on their way to the library.
"Just a moment, Tia. I need to send a quick letter,"
she said as she waved the scribe over to them. "Your Majesty?"
"Take a letter for me,"
Luna asked sweetly. "As you wish. I'm ready."
"Dear Twilight Sparkle, I am aware of your current illness, and hope that you are feeling well. I would like you to attend to me at the palace as soon as you can. Spike is here with me, and he is fine for now, but we have much to discuss. Bring your friends, as I am sure Spike will need all the help he can get in the coming turmoil. Always your friend, Princess Luna."
"Will that be all, Your Majesty?"
"Yes. Please have one of the guards deliver this letter as soon as it's light. Twilight Sparkle is sick, and I'd like her to get as much sleep as possible."
The scribe bowed and went about his duties. Luna walked back over to her sister.
"Tia, after you've raised the sun, could you help me in the drawing room?" she asked with a long sigh. "Whatever is the matter, sister?"
Celestia asked, concerned.
"Do you know how Spike became a pony?"
Luna sighed again.
"Spike has become a werepony, and if we do not change him back soon, I'm afraid he could die." "But Luna, there hasn't been a case of a werepony in over a millennia. Are you certain?"
"Of course I'm certain!" she hollered. "Do you think I'd be so distressed and upset if I weren't?"
"Calm down, sister. I'm worried about him, too. If that really is Spike, then he's in a great deal of trouble. I just wanted to be sure."
Twilight Sparkle was mad. Of all the ponies who should have been told about Spike, she should have been the first. Twilight was busy helping to search the town for Spike when Rainbow Dash swooped down from the sky. The Pegasus was much like Fluttershy in build, but was thinner and more streamlined. Her short, unkempt, rainbow-colored mane and tail complemented her cyan blue coat.
"Is there any sign of him, Rainbow Dash?"
Twilight asked her pleadingly.
"Sorry, Twi. I searched all the way to Manhattan. No pony's seen him." "How about the rest of you? Seen anything? Any sign of him?"
"Sorry, Sugar Cube. I haven't seen nothing yet." Twilight looked to Rarity, Fluttershy, and Pinkie. All of them shook their heads in defeat.
"Keep looking!"
she shouted. The lavender unicorn lowered her head, coughing. They all gathered around her.
"Twilight, you need to slow down. You've been sick for days, and the medicine Zecora and I made takes time to work,"
Fluttershy explained.
"I've been reading about the illness. You're not completely well, and I'm afraid if you push yourself too hard, you could have a relapse."
"Thank you for your concern, Shy, but I feel fine thanks to you and Zecora. Right now I'm more concerned with Spike,"
Twilight said, coughing again.
"Twilight, I know you're still upset about all this, but please, I'm the one you should be mad at. I'm the one who caused him to run off,"
Rarity confessed, still hurt from what she had said that night. Twilight took a deep breath and let it out slowly.
"I know none of you intended for this to happen, but the fact of the matter is I should have been told as soon as possible. I'm responsible for the little guy, and if anything happens to him, I don't know what I'd do."
Twilight was close to crying when one of the white Pegasus Royal Guards flew down from the sky. "Miss Sparkle?" he asked.
"Yes, sir, that's me,"
Twilight said, wiping her eyes. The courier gave her a letter and flew off.
"Who's it from?"
Rainbow Dash asked. Twilight opened the letter and started reading it.
"It's from Princess Luna. She says that Spike is with her at the castle, and that we all need to get there as soon as we can. Oh, I hope he's okay," Twilight said. "The train to Canterlot has already left, so we'll have to take my balloon. Let's go, every pony."
All 6 of the ponies headed for Twilight's balloon, except for one.
"What in tarnation are you waiting for, Rarity?"
Applejack asked.
"We need to get going right now." "I can't go. I can't face him, not after what I said."
Rarity ran, making a mad dash for her home at the Carousel Boutique. The other 5 charged after her.
"Rainbow! Applejack! Stop her before she gets inside!"
Twilight shouted. The 2 ponies raced ahead as fast as they could and tackled her to the ground. Twilight, Pinky, and Fluttershy caught up to the other 3. The lavender unicorn was breathing hard, her breath wheezing out of her.
"I'm sorry, Rarity, but you have to come too. If what Princess Luna said is true, he's going to need all of us, and that includes you," she said, trying to catch her breath. "I can't help him," she said, lying there in the dirt.
"What are you talking about?" Applejack asked.
"All I seem to do is hurt him. You saw the look on his face. How can I possibly make up for that?"
Fluttershy knelt down and helped her to her hooves.
"Do you like him?"
Fluttershy asked.
"Yes, he's always been a good friend,"
Rarity said.
"That's not what I mean. Do you like him?"
Fluttershy asked again.
"Nod your head, Rarity. We all know you do. You need to tell him you're sorry," she said. "Tomorrow you tell him you're sorry again, and the next day, and the day after that. You keep telling him that you're sorry every day until he tells you to stop apologizing. Then you apologize for apologizing."
"And that will make everything all right?"
Rarity asked hopefully.
"Well, no, I don't think so. But that's not the point,"
Fluttershy explained.
"Whether you meant it or not, you hurt Spike, and he needs to know that you're sorry. That's just the first step. The next step you have to figure out for yourself."
Pinky bounced up and hugged Rarity.
"We all know you feel sorry about what happened, but we need you, and little Spiky Wikey needs you. So will you come with us so we can try to help him?"
The pink party pony asked her.
"Yes, I'll go, but I need to get something first. You may accompany me if you wish."
They followed Rarity into her shop. The main floor was a boutique set up with mirrors and dressing rooms where ponies could try on her latest fashions. The group of ponies bypassed the shop and walked through a door to the left of the main entrance. Climbing the stairs, they entered the small upstairs apartment, which consisted of 2 rooms and a storage closet. The small space served as a home for her and her sister Sweetie Belle. Rarity headed straight for her bedroom. It wasn't overly large, but neither was it small, since it also doubled as her workshop. Ponykins stood waiting for their master's command. A workbench with an antique sewing machine stood at the ready. Bolts upon bolts of cloth in every color imaginable sat in their own cubbyholes, waiting. Rarity ran over to a medium-sized blue chest sitting on a makeup table against the wall to the left of her red canopy bed.
"Where is it? Where is it?"
she said, flinging jewelry left and right.
"You okay, Rarity?"
Rainbow asked.
"Yes. I mean, no, I need to find it. Ah, here it is. I knew it was in there somewhere," she said as she pulled out a necklace with a wide gold band and a heart-shaped fire ruby at its center.
"Isn't that the ruby Spike gave you 3 years ago when he turned into that giant dragon monster?" Twilight asked her.
"Yes, it is. I'm going to give it back to him. I'm undeserving of such a generous gift. Maybe this will help him forgive me,"
Rarity informed them.
"Okay, I'm ready to go."
The 6 friends made their way back to the balloon, and while Twilight, Rarity, Applejack, and Pinky climbed into the basket, Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy both grabbed a rope and flew off towards Canterlot as fast as they could with the balloon in tow. The balloon had sprung a leak, and they had to land to make repairs. By the time they reached the palace, the sun was already starting to set. Landing in the palace garden, they were met by Princess Luna.
"Hurry, come to the drawing room. Celestia can't keep the moon from rising forever."
The ponies ran through the palace, bursting into the drawing room. In the middle of the room, they found Spike as a little dragon yet again. Unlike the day before, all the dragon's scales had returned, but their shine was gone. Each and every scale on his body had lost its luster, and shone faded in the failing light.
Spike!
Twilight and Rarity ran to him. Both mares wanted to hold him forever, and never let go. Twilight was a little taken aback when Princess Luna unexpectedly blocked their path.
Please, you must stay away from him right now.
Twilight looked beyond the princess and saw Spike's little body breathing shallow and rapidly. Tears were in Rarity's eyes. Spike looked as though he'd been fighting to hold on to whatever life was left in his little body.
What's wrong with him?
Rarity asked pleadingly.
Spike has become a werepony. Holding the moon and the sun at twilight has been rough on him. Celestia is going to let the moon rise. Then you can go to him, Luna informed her.
A werepony?
Twilight asked.
Yes, a werepony,
Celestia said as she walked into the room.
Are you okay, sis? Yes, I'll be fine. I just need a little rest.
Celestia addressed the 6 ponies around her.
A werepony is very rare and can only happen to young dragons. When a dragon is shedding his scales like Spike was, he becomes vulnerable. If during this time he or she is bitten by a pony suffering from ponypox, he can be infected, and the only cure is a spell performed by 4 casters.
Well, that's oddly specific, Pinkie Pie stated.
Why 4? Twilight asked. The amount of magic necessary to break the curse and seal Spike into his true form is so taxing that 1 or even 2 spellcasters alone could die in the process, Luna explained. That's why 4 are needed. Spreading the strain out is simply safer.
Oh no, this is all my fault!
Twilight cried out. While Celestia and Luna had been explaining the situation, the moon had risen, and Spike again exploded in a cloud of purple smoke and scales. When the smoke cleared, Spike was again a pony, but he seemed a lot more tired than the night before.
No, Twilight, Spike reassured her. This is not your fault.
Spike got to his hooves and stretched out.
You couldn't have known, and even if you did, it's not so bad being a pony. You may like being a pony, but you can't stay that way, said Luna reluctantly. Why not? Spike asked. Spike, you're a dragon, Luna explained. Changing into a pony every time the moon comes up is a terrible strain on your body. However, I will not force you. You can either return to being a dragon, or you can stay the way you are now. But you must understand, changing back and forth between pony and dragon is very harmful, and will significantly shorten your lifespan.
How much? He asked her. Luna looked to her sister.
Spike, your particular species of dragon can live for a couple 100 years, but if you choose to stay this way, your lifespan will be reduced to only 10 years at most, and that's only if you're careful. The ponies in the room gasped in surprise. Spike stood there, frozen in shock. Is that all? He asked, his voice shaking with emotion. I'm sorry, Spike, Luna said, giving him a hug. We're not trying to scare you, but this is how it is. If you choose to stay a dragon, we will have to wait till you change back. I want you to really think about this, but don't take too long. The longer you stay like this, the harder it will be to change you back. Even with our combined ability, after a week we won't be able to cure you at all. With that in mind, I'm giving you 2 days to decide. Spike stared at the ground, thinking hard, unwilling to acknowledge Rarity's presence.
I have a question,
Rainbow Dash said.
Spike is a baby dragon, but as a pony he looks as grown up as the rest of us.
That's because he is. You see, Spike is only 5 years younger than Twilight, and as a dragon that makes him still a toddler. When he changes into a pony, the curse takes his age into account, and transforms him into a pony approximately 18 years of age, Celestia explained. While the others were busy asking questions of Celestia, Rarity could only stare at the purple stallion with regret. Luna leaned over to Rarity. Rarity, will you attend me, please?
she asked softly. Rarity followed Princess Luna to a secluded chamber off the main room.
Have a seat, please.
Rarity sat on a cushion opposite the princess.
I don't think I have to tell you how upset I am with you at the moment.
Rarity remained silent. Luna sat on a cushion inside.
I feel sorry for Spike. It's not just the curse that's hurting him. My moon is also part of this, but I can't keep the moon from rising. I can delay it, but it will have to rise. I've always wanted my moon to inspire beauty, but in this instance it brings pain, and every time it rises, Spike will be hurt.
I'm sorry, Princess, I didn't realize.
Rarity apologized. Luna glared at her slightly.
There are a great many things you did not realize. You did not realize you were destroying the feelings of another. You did not realize that words could hit as hard as hammers when they are chosen incorrectly and in haste. It's not me you should be apologizing to. You have hurt Spike greatly, and because of his feelings for you, I don't think any pony could ever hurt him as badly as you have.
Rarity began to sob.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know what I was saying.
Rarity confessed.
To see him like that, hanging on to life. If he returns to being a dragon, will he stay that weak? Will every day be a struggle for him?
No. If he returns to his true form, he will regain his strength, his vitality, and live out his life as if nothing had happened,
Luna answered.
And if he stays the way he is?
The white unicorn asked.
Is it true what Princess Celestia said?
It is, as my sister said. If Spike remains a werepony, every day will find him weaker than the one before. Eventually Spike will become bedridden, and one day he will simply slip away, the princess said with a heavy heart. Rarity, I do not intend to make things more difficult, but my sister has explained to me what happened 3 years ago on Spike's birthday, and I've read Twilight's report of what happened. I have to ask, the jewel you're wearing around your neck, is it the same one Spike gave you?
Yes, it is. I brought it with me to give back to Spike. After the way I've treated him, I don't deserve such a generous gift as this,
Rarity said.
Under the circumstances, I believe that would be an extraordinarily bad idea, Luna said.
Why's that, Your Majesty?
When you look at that gem around your neck, what do you see?
Princess Luna asked.
I see a rare treasure given to me out of selflessness. It's beautiful and flawless and perfect. Then when Spike gave it to me, what he said, I don't think I'll ever forget it. He said, this beautiful gem was meant to be with me. It was supposed to be Spike's birthday dinner, but he gave it to me instead.
Don't fool yourself, Rarity. According to Twilight, Spike had been cutting and shaping that stone for months. I'm sure you know that fire rubies are not heart-shaped by nature. He knew the second you saw that gem you'd be enthralled by it. To be honest, I didn't think Spike had it in him. He was afraid of you rejecting the gift, so he made up the subterfuge about it being his dinner. It really was a clever way for him to give you something he's wanted to give you for some time now. His heart.
Rarity was at a loss for words.
I didn't know. All I saw was the gem. I wore it around like a trophy, and then I verbally trampled his heart last night, she said. Why didn't Twilight tell me?
She couldn't. Before Spike would tell her anything, he swore her to secrecy. The only one she was allowed to consult on the matter was Celestia or myself, but Twilight has always had a preference for Tia, the alicorn said, a hint of sadness in her voice.
Do you think he will ever forgive me?
Rarity asked her. Luna wiped a tear away from Rarity's cheek with her wing. She placed a hoof on her shoulder and looked Rarity in the eye.
Whether he forgives you or not is entirely up to him. Now dry those eyes, and let's go back into the other room.
Rarity wiped her eyes and followed Luna back into the drawing room. The others were there waiting for her, but the only pony Rarity could see was Spike. Rarity trotted right up to Spike, but before she could say anything, he turned his back on her and started walking toward the door.
Spike, please don't walk away.
Why are you wearing that thing?
He asked sharply.
I'm sure either Twilight or one of the princesses has told you the real story behind it. Twilight could never keep a secret. I know it doesn't mean anything to you, so why keep it?
You gave this to me, Spike, and I've always treasured it. I couldn't possibly get rid of this.
She tried to tell him, but Spike was still so angry. Keep it, cut it, sell it, throw it away. I don't care anymore. Do whatever you want, Rarity. It's what you're good at. Spike turned around and faced her, tears of pain in his eyes. You know, you should try to hook up with Blue Blood again. You and him are exactly the same. Shallow, superficial, vain, and self-centered.
Spike, that's not fair, Twilight said.
Fair? I'll tell you what's not fair. For 5 years I do everything for her, and ask nothing in return except a little consideration. I did everything from dig in the dirt for gems to you, Rarity, to take out your garbage. Heck, I was a pincushion for you. When the Diamond Dogs took you prisoner, I led the charge outnumbered against foes 4 times my mass. I gave up going to parties and events to watch Sweetie Belle and her friends while you went out with the others and left me behind. I did everything for you, and you treated me like dirt. I never once gave up hope that maybe, somehow, some way you and I could be together. Spike turned again and walked toward the door. I should be thanking you, Rarity. You finally opened my eyes so I could see you for who you really are. I'm done with you. Go crush some pony else's heart. You've already destroyed mine. Spike ran out of the room and headed for the tower room he and Twilight used to share all those years ago. Man, that's just depressing. In spite of all this downer stuff, I hope everyone's still enjoying this, and, my voice, which I still wonder if it's still good for this sort of thing, but I guess if you're all happy, I can carry on. So anyway, 2 down, 2 to go, and I hope to be back soon with Chapter 3. As always, I appreciate all the comments left on the first part of this reading, and I hope to hear the same kind of good things again. So thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you all later.